Hello guys, welcome back to our channel, and today we're going to continue to take a look at the scenario where civilization starts over. In the last episode we saw the third and the fourth coalition war happen in Asia, and China assured their dominance. Korea is dead, there's new sister republic now. Also the Belgians arrived in India, this is also pretty important, keep this in mind. And I think also exploration in the Americas and also Balearics maybe did something. I think they did. Oh yeah, Belgium also went insane and invaded the entirety of England and Wales, and now they rule it. So let's see what happens today. We're going to start with the Balearics, which might take a break from invading countries because they didn't really have the room to expand. Like they were thinking of going into Italy, but Rome, Rome is chill with them. Marca, it doesn't have a point into invading them, and they wouldn't be able to control them properly. East Naples, just no, they got the most valuable areas of Naples already. They don't need to kill the entire thing. Oh, actually, they're going to purchase these islands from Athens because that's the only thing they needed. Athens is kind of weak now. Their decline has already started, and with the Balearic Empire buying these islands is just delayed because now Athens will be able to survive. But they're the sick men of Europe now after that war with Egypt. Because now we see this becoming an autonomous region of Athens, which is also wants independence that badly, but Athens doesn't want to. So they're just stuck in this limbo. They're now starting to have a proper government, but they're still under Athens' control. Also, Egypt will protect Cyprus. They aren't interested in invading them. But now let's see what will happen in Asia because Tokyo will decide to jump China again. But no one wants to help this time. They're all scared. Especially because China was recovering now, they were expanding a bit. And they're scared because, dude, they have won 4 wars in a row against major powers. Caspia will also focus on expand a bit just to connect up to Asia properly, to connect up with China, because China was the founder of Caspia. Chinese people went into Caspia and formed it. And also, this area is quite unstable. Caspia is having instability problems now. So do with that what you will. But they managed to hold on for now because they have smart strategies and all of that. But now let's go back to China because Tokyo and Guangxi are the only members of the fifth coalition. Yeah, that's it. Tokyo and Guangxi. I guess you can imagine where this goes. We see Chinese troops marching in against the coalition and immediately winning because Guangxi is not as strong as China. China's modernized really quickly. They really are a powerful nation. They're gaining power pretty quickly. After the revolution, they've got all of the time to, set up properly. And now China's officially knocked out Guangxi out of the war, but Tokyo still wants to fight. Well, they lose a major battle against the Chinese army and also the Chinese navy. And after this, Tokyo will just decide to surrender, and there goes. China's won another war, and they might actually unify Asia. Let's take a look at the peace treaty. See China creating the Guangxian Sister Republic. Yeah, they do not annex the entire thing, they make another sister republic. Now we see Laos pretty scared. Tokyo, after this, is going to pause from coalitions. Yeah, this was Japan, but now it's more of Tokyo since what's happening. Japan will pause from doing coalitions because they might ruin themselves. That China will just focus on rebuilding and they will become a little bit stronger. But also we see that the Belgians are still expanding and they quickly settle all of this land. They're made of a company and now they meet up with Gujarat. Gujarat is not real happy that Europeans landed on their subcontinent. Like they ruled all of this. This was supposed to be their domain after they defeated India in that war. But guess not. They do not fight for now though. Bangladesh is a little bit scared and Belgium is looking at them like invaded. Myanmar will expand in the following years. They will start to get scared of China now. But basically everyone are getting scared of China at this point, other than Java, which is just chilling for now. So this is the Philippines have tried to develop themselves and they're expanding rapidly to just escape China. They now just want more land as possible to survive against the Chinese and to develop their navy, which is still pretty strong and it's improving even more. China might not be able. They defeated Tokyo and everything, but the Philippines are managing to hold on. They're like the Britain of Asia. If you guys know what I'm referencing to. But we see, yeah, this is happening, and Java is just chilling, but they're not going to be the only country in Indonesia. A country has just decided to pop out. They're mainly a tribal thing, they're not that technological advanced, but they do exist. And no one wants to invade them, like the Philippines don't mind them, Java does not care. So they're going to stay with all of their things. Yeah. We actually see this Iranian country expand really quickly and well not really quickly but like they take years and they take all of this and they're starting to become quite a medium power. Asia is gaining a lot of importance recently. We see archangels along with Hokkaido discovering all of this. Not all of this Asia is being discovered fully, not set up, but discovered at least. See this Arabian country, which is kind of weak, but they expand. And also, or Qatar or Bahrain, I don't remember where they formed, but we see this happening. The Arabian Peninsula has been finally fully set up, so it's advancing pretty quickly. And now let's check how the Americas are doing. Belgium is still investing into this. They're kind of taking a break because they found the Indies. So this is why they are chilling for a bit. Meanwhile, Ireland is making the borders horrible, but it's accurate because Europeans always make these borders. Oslo, Oslo will expand. the American colonies, and they arrived pretty far. They're used to cold, so this isn't a big deal for them. This is in fact why they managed to do a pretty big exploration. The ice quest, we can call this, I guess. Well, Asian countries are probably not getting to the Americas because of all the collision, and all the Asian wars and stuff. They're too busy. But now, Balearic Empire will use their navy to fully discover Cuba, which is a major achievement. They also discovered the Bahamas, and they get close to Florida, but a hurricane arrives and the people die, and they just can't get to Florida. They have fully explored the Caribbean though, and they're probably going to claim them because the jewel of the crown. They want the jewel of the crown. We see also this happening, but now, I anticipated, that. Oh, Dwayne, please, please, yeah, anticipated. Of the Caribbean are under Balearic's control now, and this is because they can. They're starting to focus less on Europe, and they're going straight for colonizing, becoming the strongest colonial empire in the world. That stuff, even though they're already the strongest country in the world, and the Baltic Empire is also kind of locking in now. They're gaining. Lime Belgium is like Oslo is probably second, but the Baltic is third. Lime Belgium is fourth, but they're closing the gap for all of that expansion, so they're kind of back into strong positions. So yeah, even though they're not been on top for a long while, basically when the War of the Sailors ended, because Oslo overtook them because of their policies, which work and made the northern areas really strong. And also, the series started in Northern Europe, so it makes sense to have superpowers in Northern Europe. But now we see a new Siberian country popping up. Hokkaido has expanded, and they're actually going to take control of this so that the other countries can't. We'll see this sister republic of Korea expanding, and now Hokkaido is actually scared. Indonesia is still. They're starting to realize how much of a threat China is, but not really. They want a united Asia, but peacefully. They do war because they're attacked. And this is why they're kind of doing all of this game. But now we see some Chinese people, people who have got flew away with the government because they do not agree, they're going to escape. They will form a country over here, and it's not a really well supplied country, but Turkestan or Xinjiang, I don't know, they exist now. And China does not know that. Well, they do not. They know that they fled, but they thought they went to like not Caspia, but like into Europe. And no, they're just still in. They're still in Asia, just with a country with its own policies. And yeah, they're probably going to side in with the coalition if war starts. In Africa, Africa is kind of slowing down. South Africa has been busy with stabilizing, but they have expanded a little bit. Cameroon has been chilling. The Balearics are slowing down too. Egypt has already fully achieved their objectives. Tunisia doesn't want to do anything. The rest of the continent remains pretty much unclaimed, which kind of leads. I think you guys know where this is bringing, but we're not into that thing yet. You still have to wait. The Industrial Revolution hasn't even started yet. So yeah, but it's close. Like we're almost there. It will pop up pretty quickly when it starts, and yeah. Now we see that actually Hokkaido will ask for another coalition. They will ask to count Tokyo and the Philippines and some other countries because they're really scared of China and they want to put them down finally after a while. And they're going to agree. Tokyo, Hokkaido, Siberia stays neutral. The Philippines will agree. The trio is back, the old trio. We'll also see Laos joining in. Mongolia is thinking about joining or not. This country, they kind of know because they know that they will try to reach out to the coalition. And for this reason, China is going to expand east, west, west, west. I forgot the reaction for a sec. Basically, this will happen. Following years, they will meet up, and this leads to this country just going to war with China. It's basically a civil war, but let's see how this goes. It's a pretty big coalition. China will face a strong coalition this time. It won't be that easy. Their sister republics are going to fight with them on their side, but they might not do this. But they have a plan. They can't remove troops from Mongolia because they do not know if they will join in or not. At the end, they will join, but they will not be the first target. The first thing they want to do is to knock out Tokyo because Tokyo needs to be played around. They need to give you a lesson. And they still, Tokyo didn't expect they were going to after them. They still cannot predict China moves. But Hokkaido kind of saves them for fully capitulating, so China is kind of getting stalled. But they're still winning. They will also start their invasion into Mongolia since they have troops there. And after Lake Baikal starts getting targeted, bombs have not been invented yet, so no bombardments. After this happens, Mongolia will just surrender because they want their country to live. We see Korea attacking Hokkaido, but the Hokkaidans are actually stronger. But the fact that these areas are assimilated not that this leads into it, but in other areas, Hokkaido is actually the first country who manages to defeat some of the sister republics that good. And now they're actually locking in because they're searching for available areas. They do not care about theirs. They have things to target, and this is why. This is their strategy. They're doing a lot. They already need to stop the invasion of Korea to save Japan from falling. Because if Japan falls, China might land into Hokkaido. And Hokkaido navy is good, but they do not know if they can beat China's. Philippines, they're just winning every single naval battle. Laos will fortify themselves and they will decide they will make a landing on this island. At least make a naval battle. China, incredibly, loses that. They managed to lose a major naval battle, which leads to this island getting fully conquered. And this is kind of a nightmare for China. Uh-oh, they're saying this. Because this might be the turning point of the war. But what does these guys do? Oh, yeah, China was really furious at them for doing this. This is why they immediately blitz into them and they knock them out. Some of them managed to flee to Caspia, but Caspia is kind of friend with this new government too, so they just send them back and they get jailed. Yeah. School these are people who disagree with the government. This is the lore of Turkestan, which has just been wiped off the map. And also the probably won't be talked about in history books. But China will now send troops south to try to fight, and they think they can still do this. Probably can, but Guangxi is starting to get invaded by. But China manages to hold it. Philippines will now think about taking Taiwan, which will be a huge blow, and they do not know if they could be able to do it. So we will see. Now we see Myanmar joining in on the side of the coalition because they're scared of China, and China didn't expect this. So now they have another enemy which is going to really, really quickly do this to connect to China to fight another front. The war is becoming a nightmare. And to fight into all of this might be hard. But now we see that China is starting to think. The southern front is kind of dead. They have to protect their major areas. They have to kill Japan. This is their strategy. They have to fully kill Japan. So they break the front lines. They use their tech to absolutely beat Japan. They take their capital. Despite this, they're not able to conquer it yet. We see that Hokkaido. Well, Hokkaido is kind of so they actually managed allied, but Japan falls. The Hokkaido Navy though manages to save. China cannot cross into Hokkaido, which is kind of one of the biggest enemies is being knocked out. But it's a kind of useless victory because Hokkaido is winning against Korea. And China is still not sending troops. They're starting to, but it's not yet. Korean government is still winning in these undefended areas though. But it's not quite even. Hokkaido has the upper hand and will have it for a while. Starting to think that China might win this war, but they're kind of doing some mistakes. Like they do not want, they will try to do an offensive thanks to Guangxi, but jungle Laos, the jungle will repel all of China. The dream of uniting Asia might be crumbling. They they're thinking about pissing out, like pissing out, take all, but now all of the coalition will disagree because they want to land the final blow to this menacing thing. Siberia is also sending aid to the coalition now. Caspia is still friend with China, but they do not want to intervene. They want to be alone for a long while. Gujarat is thinking on joining on the side of the coalition. Basically, we see that the Philippines have gained the upper hand. After that failed jungle offensive, this is our Filipino, Laotian, so Myanmar. After that failed offensive, the Guangxi Sister Republic is dead. Yeah, just like that. China has lost one of their only allies. This might be the end of their long empowering dream. And this kind of makes them sad. Basically, after this, see this, wrong about it. I know it's a really big offensive, but they managed to do this. because the population also supports the coalition. China started to get scared. Their capital is over here now, and they are not that far away. This causes them to evacuate Taiwan, to have just leave Taiwan, and the Philippines managed to get it, which is another big blow, and now another naval battle will happen. This island will get liberated, this Japanese island. Oh, true, Japan has survived here. Iwo Jima, I think. Yeah, China is not able to get that. They will never be able to get that. Japan will keep fighting on that island. And in the end, China will have to liberate, leave their troops. That leads Hokkaido into finally landing another offensive and finally might end this hell. This war has been a hell. It's lasting a lot. We're not in the 1800s yet, but we're getting close to them. So 1780 is probably the date. We see the war ending. Well, not ending, but like Korea is now on the losing side. The old government was bad, though true, but it was friendly with the coalition. Chinese old government, the monarchist one, will probably not come back because everybody did. But the old Korean government was nice to the governments. So, yeah, there's this paradox. The old China will never come back. They will just make a Chinese republic weaker and probably some limits to the army so that they can't do something like this again. Mongolia is still thinking to violate the peace treaty or the surrendering, but they can't really. We see the Philippines landing another blow, and at this point, the war starts. But China will make a proclamation, and they will decide to fight until the very end for the United Asian Republic, which will probably never form. This is their last shot. They have to plan a final offensive. South China is basically liberatable for now. It's unfriable. Like the troops, lot of troops there is a lot, and they're probably not going to liberate it. Also, Cambodia has now joined the coalition. Like, all of Southeast Asia is fighting against China, and it's getting even worse. This offensive is kind of dooming China entirely. For this reason, they will decide to go after Hokkaido with their final shot. They manage to cross, and they get very close into taking the entire thing. But after a while, the Hokkaidians will manage to push back and to kick them fully. But not only that, they land back. They land back. Yep, they land back. They will bring back Japan. And not only find the Chinese offensive as a failure, but they also have another front. They will quickly evacuate Japan. They cannot fight another front. This is kind of the end for Chinese hegemony. Japan is destroyed, but they're back. The coalition is winning at this point. Even Belgium is sending supplies to the anti-Chinese forces. Bangladesh will join the coalition. It's basically pointless now. This kind of led to Korea pushing back a little bit, but it's nothing like that. No. Hokkaido will beat Korea into a major offensive because Korea was also most Chinese troops. The urban areas, most of them are already being captured. But now China will decide to unite it with them to fight better. But actually, no, they will just have another front. It's not an occupation, it's like a way to unite Asia. Even though they already failed. They're they know they're going to lose. We're the probably know at this point, but they still want to do something to stop this. But then there's nothing they can do. As coalition forces land into this island, which I don't know if it's called Honshu Kyushu. I'm really confused between that two names. I Loki forgot. So yeah, to see this island gets liberated. The first, the old Japanese country that was here has been liberated finally after well, not century, but lots of years. They're back. Coalition will also win another naval battle, and China will not be able to retreat from Japan. There, this is not considered liberation. It's not considering occupied. This is considered liberation. Basically, yeah, we see that China fails to evacuate. So this just happens. All of Japan has been fully liberated. Oh yeah, guys, long video time. 31 minutes. You see Jeju Island getting finally liberated. But now they want to do something risky. Fighting mainland China, it's still pretty big, tons of population. It will take a lot of time, but they want to do something. They want to land in the Chinese capital. They want to win a naval battle there. They want to take all of the rulers of the country, presidents, all of the justice people, all of the government of China. They want to take them. They want to exile them to Jeju Island because, of course, Jeju Island. We love Jeju Island. And they want to, bring back a democratic government but controlled, basically. More easy to do. These guys, these guys will be easy to convince to revolt, even though they're probably being sent back. But some of them, no, probably said no. I didn't specify how much there were left, or if there were any. I just made you guys assume no one was there. There actually was. A person managed to survive and liberated the entire country. This is the truth. Mongolia, Mongolia is kind of back in the game, in a way. In the preparation for the final battle, they decide to violate the surrendering. They unsurrendering. I don't know if you can do that actually. Probably not. But for the lore, they do. They violate the peace treaty. They destroy the paper. Paper was not invented in China in this universe, by the way. It was invented in Caspia. Yeah, big lore drop. But we see this happening, and China's already thinking that it's over, probably. They can't do anything. There's nothing they can do. But now it's time for the final battle, the final naval battle that will decide the destiny of China. The government did not expect that. They will start first a fake invasion. Like they're going to think they're landing in Korea. It's going to be quickly stopped. There were only a few people though, like 180 people will get captured with the Chinese, and they were kind of worried, but also laughing. Why did only 140 people land in Korea? This is not a massive operation. Well, they got tricked because the naval landing is a success. They land close to the capital, and then they start and they manage to actually do it. All of the metropolitan area will get captured. This will take like 5 months to fully do it. But the damage was already done when they landed. It was too much. All of the Chinese government officials will officially get taken. And now, without a government, China is forced to surrender to the coalition forces. A kind of a smart strategy to win the war in a brief time instead of invading all of China and take all of it. So let's take a look at the peace treaty, which will take a while. This peace treaty is going to be known as the ruin of Asia by the historians. And I think you guys are already getting why China is being balkanized. They haven't been lied on China. The Korean government is kind of back, but it's not the same people. Like some loyalists have, but it's not the exact same government. It's a bit different. People still dislike it, but it's a bit better than the OG one. So it's still a kind of improvement. This government, yeah, the anti-government forces have reunified China. This was the Chinese Republic with Taiwan. That thing is kind of back. They're just a small state. They're a democracy. They lost Taiwan to the Philippines because the Philippines have expanded a lot. They wanted land. Laos gained some borderland out of New Guangxi. This is kind of demilitarized zone, this one over here. Myanmar gained some land. They are long now. The old Manchurian country is kind of back. Mongolia gained some land back. Actually, I'm going to give Mongolia this because it looks way better. Hokkaido gained some land back and also gained some land. Japan, this country is back. Jeju Island is officially dead because of their revolutionary ideology. Yeah, I know. RIP Jeju Island. And this peace treaty is over. When Belgium was invited to it, they saw all of Asia, they saw how they are. They kind of told the Europeans about what's going on in Asia. And the Europeans are looking like, interesting. The Balearics are also looking at Asia as a new possible trade destination. And they are very, very angry that the Belgians got there before them. So, Asia is kind of screwed themselves up. Instead of uniting and making one big strong Asian country which can counter anything, they decided to fool themselves, weaken countries, make smaller and weaker countries that can easily get invaded by stronger forces. Don't don't mind like don't underestimate some of them. Like Philippines and Hokkaido are pretty strong, but that's really it. Japan got a bit destroyed and a bit crippled. Sure, they're going to recover, but is it going to be enough? China is dead. China is still there, but like all of the government officials got killed or executed or something. Population is kind of discontent. Guangxi has been completely crippled. Laos is fine, I guess. Cambodia is okay. Java is not strong enough. This country is not. Sulawesi isn't strong enough. Myanmar isn't strong enough. Bangladesh is already the target of Belgium. Gujarat isn't strong enough. Like all of India isn't strong enough. Caspia is the exception. Well, they do not want to colonize Caspia. They know they will fail. Most of them respect Caspia for what they do. So yeah. See ya! It was a pretty long video, but it was the end of the Great Asian Wars, which was the Napoleonic Wars of this timeline. So now the Industrial Revolution and all of the eras can start. The Age of Empires is not. Well, the Age of Empires, I'm announcing it. It might be over. No, not yet. But it started the late stage. The late, really late. Age of Empires started. And this is a major achievement. So we will see what will happen. See ya!